Hopefully it'll go quickly because we are running out of time.
I don't have the most experience with one of these, but I'm confident in my abilities.
Take my squeegee thing with the radius and just run it like this.
Last week, while I was away for a quick work training, Jade finished the huge job of fiberglassing the central side pockets of the grid alone. I got home last night just in time to tackle the battery box sections, and I leave again for 2 more weeks of work training in the morning. I'd like to take Jade with me, which means we now have less than 24 hours to finish fiberglassing if we want to get the keel installed on time.
Wish us luck.
Well, good morning. It poured rain last night, like dumped all night and all morning, and so we slept perfect. We all slept in, we slept great, and today we're well rested, ready to get to work. I think we're going to try and get as much fiberglassing done as we can. We were thinking we might be able to finish, but I actually think we don't have enough epoxy. We're going to do as much as we can, I guess, and see how far we get. Prioritizing the areas that we need to get done in order to put the keel back on. So that means battery boxes, because the galley can wait. Just in case we do happen to have enough epoxy, Jade's over working in the galley.
Finally back where I belong.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I'm getting all the measurements. I'm gonna cut the glass for the galley. We've just got these 2 pockets here. And Brett's gonna start prepping everything, getting it sanded and cleaned and ready to go. And it's just luck. Nature surprised me with a sudden downpour of very wet water. A lot of it. I courageously faced the onslaught, but some of our glass still got wet, and it wasn't alone in that. Moisture in the layup will eventually cause delamination and basically defeats the entire purpose of our whole build. This means that all of our glass is completely useless until it's 1000% dry, and that's gonna take a while. We've laid it all out. We're gonna give it till this afternoon. I think we're gonna throw the heater in here and just bake it and see if we can get it to dry, because it is a cold day today. So the heater should help. Brett's cleaning up, gonna sand. I'm gonna cut, and then we're gonna get a couple of other things done on our to-do list and hit the glassing this afternoon.
All right, we're cooking glass. Heater's pumped at 90 degrees. Hopefully it warms up. It's kind of a big boat, little heater. See how it does. It's like an air elliptical.
I'm gonna start cutting now, I guess.
It's been a couple days since we laid this fiberglass, so I'm just using some sandpaper. We're gonna scuff it up so that when we lay this new glass from this guy across, it has something to bind to, a little bit of tooth to grab. Quite a few kind of snags and stuff from laying this glass over in the corners, and some of the silica epoxy that we put in had some big peaks on it and kind of some hard spots. So we've learned that if there's any peaks or snags or anything on the layer below it, when you lay the new fiberglass on there, it just leaves a void. I'm really trying to go through and clean this one up, make it as smooth as possible so that when we lay this new glass on there, it'll be nice and clean. It takes a little more sanding, a little more cleaning. I'll have to go through and acetone everything, but if that means that we get a nice clean layer of fiberglass, totally worth it. Still pretty damp. They've been sitting for a couple hours with the heater blasting on them, but they're too damp to use. So I think I'm going to finish cleaning up in these boxes and put some filler. I'm going to use the West, I think it's called 602 or something like that, into those cracks and into our cutouts. I'll fiberglass those across. We went and bought a couple more cups. We've been able to save most of them, but every once in a while when we do silica, it just doesn't come out. So
got a couple more. We'll get this epoxy mixed up. I'll do the front, and then we'll be done in the front, and then I can move back and do the battery boxes.
It's cold and humid and these won't dry, even with the heater. So I'm about to get real fancy and blow dry them dry. Hopefully it'll go quickly because we are running out of time. We're both tired and frustrated of our projects, so we've decided to switch. That way we're each on something new and fresh and exciting. Hand it over.
You're getting 2 hands.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the most experience with one of these, but I'm confident in my abilities.
Figured out that the best way to do it is to first go in with my hands, because when you do a big bucket of it, it's counterintuitive. Usually things in a big bucket will take longer to dry, but because of how the chemical reaction works, if you spread it out thin, then it stays wet longer. It has a longer cure time. So the very first thing I do is to spread it all out with my hands, just super quick and sloppy, just like that, and kind of get it everywhere I want to get it. But mostly it's to get it out of the bucket. Because if I leave it in the bucket for too long, then it gets hot and it cooks it and it wastes it, and then I feel really bad because then we have to go to West Marine and buy a whole other thing of epoxy because I've cooked all of our epoxy. Just kidding. That's only happened once. Brett and I have both had one pot that burned up, so we've learned. Spread it out. Take my squeegee thing with the radius. And you just run it like this. And then you have a whole lot more to work with. And
it's nice and pretty.
It's nice and pretty, and it's still cool to the touch. And then I'm gonna move over here, spread it out again. And it's a pretty quick process, not necessarily because I'm a pro at it, but because there's literally no other way to do it but quick. Otherwise it doesn't work.
Could you imagine if we had gotten like the fast hardener or even the medium?
You know what, it really would have pushed our strengths.
Maybe we would have been done by now. Because we would have had to be.
Or we would have lit our boat on fire.
Or that. We actually did have several people, when we told them we were using epoxy, like, oh, make sure you have fire extinguishers laying around. I've yet to make anything catch on fire. I made the one pot smoke.
Your pot smoked?
Well, I had silica.
You didn't tell me it smoked.
It smoked.
Oh, crazy. Well, we got time. Still a chance for fire.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Now look at all those battery cables.
You sure these can't be moved?
Yeah.
Okay. I've officially radiused these boxes. Looks pretty good. Now, we need to get ourselves out of here to let it set up and then we can glass it. And we're back. It's time to glass, and we might actually, saying this for the first time about the glassing, finish tonight. That's pretty cool. Probably we won't, but hey, at least we'll get closer.
The smallest piece that we need when we're broken or lost. The moments that just passed us by, when we go blinded by what makes us die. Could be vague, just a blink of a moment, and it's gone. We keep falling down until we start to tear, but we can still be strong.
We are on the home stretch. We haven't really touched the camera at all because we've been covered in epoxy, but I just changed the battery and this is me saying, hello, how's it going? Things are pretty crazy over here. And I'm disappointed that I've had it on time-lapse and not just regular film, because Brett is like full of the Disney quoting tonight. Like every Disney movie, I think he's... What?
I don't know, it's good it's on time lapse because we would have got copyrighted by now.
Oh, probably. Probably. We are officially out of our Rocca epoxy and we've broken into the West system that we got from West Marine.
Garbage crap.
As you can tell, we're not a huge fan of the West system. It does not wet as well. It's difficult to work with. It smells bad, and overall, and it's really expensive. So definitely, I think West system is kind of the standard. So Rocca, good job. I'm proud of Brett. He did all the research and picked them out and got that kind of epoxy. Very glad. What do you say, Brett?
Yeah, I'm really glad we got Rocca. This stuff's awful. It's just awful.
It smells like box hair dye. If you've ever smelled that.
Like a cheap box.
Yeah, but like the $7 box, not even
Yeah.
like the $12 box. But it's what we have and it's what we're going with, and it's just this one small section. Then we won't be done, but we'll be like done. We'll be done enough.
Either way, we're done.
Either way,
What?
the hair fell down and you just painted the entire thing. Oh man. I don't know what to do about it because I can't touch into the rest of my hair now. Try not to paint it again. It's a long piece too.
We'll just cut it off later, it's fine.
Okay.
Just sand it.
Just sand it. Just get like an 80 grit.
Program it and then
Okay, we're done. This is the best news ever. I'm so excited to shower.
Cool.
Good job, babe. Seriously though, good job.
we're just climbing out of the boat. It's quite precarious to get out now because we can't step on either of those beams or the floor. But also my feet are epoxy, so I really need to take my shoes off.
Your feet are epoxy.
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 But we're done. The keel can go on. There's more to do. There's a lot more to do. But it's to the point now that if we had to put the keel on right now, we could. Well, no, we couldn't. We'd have to let it dry and drill holes. But we're to the point that we can leave. That's where we're at. And that's what we've been trying to get to. So we're going to go shower and leave. Maybe sleep.
What did you say?
This is like boat American Ninja Warrior. Wow, well done.
Join us next week when we make it back from work training and get to work, training the keel how to keel. I'm obviously awesome.
Yes. Hey, that's my phone over there.
Would you like it?
Yes, please. Be careful now with acetone hands.
What?
Nice and pretty.